Oh, hi, Marquee Moon.
Oh, hi, Mark. Moon.
Oh, hi, Tom Verlaine. Anyway, how's your sex life with Patti Smith?
I saw a Reddit comment that pointed out that when he said, how's your sex life, that was him trying to say that it was inappropriate for Mark to be asking about his confidential bank clients.
That's not the impression I got. The impression I got was it was just a weird non sequitur.
Yeah, I think it's because Tommy Wiseau just had no filter. So when he, because it's when you listen to the dialogue, everyone sounds the same.
Oh, hi, doggy.
They all sound like Johnny.
Yeah.
And that's how Tommy Wiseau talks. So
You're my favorite customer.
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't realize you were there. How the hell did you not see his ass?
Anything for my princess.
Let's go fuck for a while now, yeah?
Where'd Steve go?
I don't know. He always starts wandering around when we're starting.
Oh, he's taking a shit and
He's
checking
checking
it
it
twice.
He's gonna wipe from front to back. Steve is taking a shit
on my
head.
That's why we need to get the wireless microphone.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's kind of weird that you yell Megaton every time you take a shit, too.
And every time you climax.
Oh, Megaton.
Yeah, I got a megaton for you. Megaton for you right here.
Megaton of whoop ass.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten my ass kicked more in life.
Yeah. I bet if you went to bars more, you would probably have gotten punched at some point.
Probably.
Anyway, episode.
Welcome to Side 1, Side B. I'm Dave.
I'm Steve.
And I'm 7-inch Sean. See, you're not laughing anymore. Should I up it to 12-inch or 10-inch?
Sean's a grower and a shower.
The grower, yep.
Well, the ED medicine's helping, so.
Yeah. Sean brought a record today. Sean, what did you bring?
I brought Marquee Moon by Television.
Nice. This is one of my favorite records, so this is almost like a freebie for me.
I know. I did it specifically for you, Dave. I don't know if I did that for you.
It is my favorite use of the guitar on any rock album ever.
Yeah, I actually just recently heard this album, and I think it was because of you that I was turned on to this album. I think you mentioned this album. You've talked about Television before, and you said you loved this album.
Yeah.
So I picked it up, and I was blown away. Let's just say,
yeah.
I don't think I felt like that blown away from an album in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's an amazing album. Television were the first punk band to play CBGBs too. They were trying to book a gig. My sources for this are, of course, Please Kill Me from the Velvets to the Voidoids, and the original bass player's Richard Hell's own autobiography, I Dreamt I Was a Very Clean Tramp. But they were walking around New York City trying to find a place to play. And they saw this place called CBGB's, which stands for what? Country, bluegrass and blues.
Blues, yeah.
Yeah, and booked a gig there and spawned an entire movement.
I think, didn't they say they were blues or something like that?
Yeah, but they had to audition too, so yeah. I think Hilly Crystal, the owner, just needed to get live music at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because he was worried about the bar shutting down. But yeah.
Everyone says how fucking gross that place was, though.
I've seen pictures of the bathroom from its heyday. It looks disgusting.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memes about it is somebody posted like, it is your duty to make the bathroom of the new airport CBGBs look like the old school CBGB's bathroom.
Bring in a Sharpie and some stickers and then piss all over the wall.
Yeah, a lot of bands came from that who were out of New York came from the CBGBs, but funny enough, like the Misfits didn't actually come from CBGBs. They came from Max's Kansas City, and Doyle told a story about how they didn't play CBGBs until way later, and when they actually did play CBGBs, he said they had to drag him in there because he didn't want to go in there because it was so fucking disgusting. He's like, no, I don't want to go in there. Oh, it's gross.
I think Max's Kansas City also had food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love playing at sleazy, dirty fucking corner bars.
I do too. That's my favorite place to play.
Yeah.
I like the last place. Levers, I thought was actually quite awesome. I think
Yeah.
I was kind of out of it for that show for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but
It was a good show though. Yeah.
and you guys said it was great.
It'll be on a bootleg at some point. I haven't mixed it yet.
And then I thought our Sydney show was really good.
Yeah, Sydney show might have been our best show.
And so yeah, and they're both kind of like divey type bars. Sydney's a little bit nicer than O'Leavers, but
Sydney's is really nice. O'Leavers isn't like disgusting or anything,
No.
but it is more of a, I don't know, it has more of a rock and roll aesthetic, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, definitely rock and roll. Because it's got like all the album covers on the wall.
I'll say this: me and Dave went there last night, and they don't skimp on the drinks.
No. I remember once I made a comment about O'Leavers, and frequent guest, friend of the show, Jake Duncan, made a joke, oh, all the cocaine in Omaha?
That was actually my only my second time playing at O'Leavers. My first time was playing with Gone Farmer.
Yeah.
And your sister's band.
Yeah. Gong Farmer played there, I think, only a handful of times. And I think only once when you were in the band.
Yeah. I remember your sister's lead singer got really pissed at
the touring band.
the touring band because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the next band looks really hot. And she's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh, they look really hot. It's like, well, do they look like they can play their instruments? Yes. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. But
Yeah.
I think Megaton played their advertised last show there. We did have like one reunion show a few years later for somebody's birthday, but
And it wasn't
and Dave and
mine.
Dinger were there. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
Was Megaton's last show, is that with that one really young guy who could not come up with band names to save his life?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He was still in the band at that point. I don't know. After Sabrina left, it lost its magic. I felt like.
Yeah. There were basically 3 eras to that band. In the last one, yeah, something was missing by the end. Yeah.
Well, he was an amazing guitar player. He was also like 18, and I was in my late 20s at the time, and I don't. He was obsessed with Metallica, and I get it because I used to be obsessed with Metallica. But like me and Mario tried to explain to him, we got it out of our system like years ago.
Yeah.
There's more to life than Metallica, like television, for instance.
Yes.
Yeah. Television.
Television. This was an album. This was a punk album from before the sound of punk was solidified. Now their live show was a lot more like louder, faster, more raucous. But like this does not sound like the same band as even some of their contemporaries, like the Ramones or the Dead Boys.
No.
Like, it's definitely in its own space.
From what I remember, they were on that Punk Nuggets compilation, right?
Yes.
I remember their track stood out to me at the time.
Yeah.
I actually, when I heard it, like, I was like, I didn't realize it was supposed to be punk. that's
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but because
Well, Dave's played me a lot of the proto-punk stuff that doesn't sound punk to me.
but this is like right in the punk era because it came out in 77. So when I was listening to it, I was like, oh shit, this doesn't even sound like punk of the time, you know?
Yeah.
Because to me, it sounds almost like alternative.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think that's what I remember thinking when I heard the track.
I think the track that was on the comp was that Little Johnny Jewel, which was a non-album single, so that won't be on here. But yeah, like it's funny too. They were the first band to book CBGBs, but Patti Smith and the Ramones all got albums out before they did. So kind of like the Sex Pistols in that regard. They kind of started it, but they weren't stable enough to capitalize on putting out a record first.
yeah, someone was telling me like about a story about them where they were on the TV and they were just making a bunch of noise and they sounded like terrible. It was like in their early days.
Yeah.
And they sounded terrible, but they had like a lot of like passion, I guess. And someone said like, they may be terrible now, but in a few years they're gonna be really. And then in a few years, like, saw them again, and they were, you know, like they are now, or like they are in
1977
when they released this album. And even their album after this, Adventure, or I got that as well, and that one's actually really good too.
Yeah.
They only had 3 albums.
And the third one was a reunion one in 1992.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet.
I haven't either. It's kind of hard to track down. I could probably find it on streaming, but
yeah. Like I said, when I listened to it, it was mind blowing, and I was surprised at the tonality. But I've heard too, like, so here's a little bit into the mix that I have. I've heard that the original way it was mixed was a little bit more shrill and a little bit like the highs were a little bit higher, and like recent mixes have cut it down a little bit. So some people say that this isn't the true artist's intention of the album. So I don't know.
This is the Rhino Hi-Fi version, which I haven't heard yet. So I am interested in hearing a different version of this.
Yeah.
I think the version I originally heard was like the CD remaster mix from like the 90s, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been the easiest version of the album to get at the time I discovered them. And then, this is... They only had one real lineup change that delayed them putting out their first album. Their original bass player was Richard Hell, who went on to found Richard Hell and the Voidoids. And by the time they recorded anything, including Little Johnny Jewel, their first single, they'd replaced him with Fred Smith, who stayed through the whole run of the band.
Even the reunion?
Even the reunion, yeah. And so, like, but Richard Hell was like co-frontman. And so like when he left, they lost about half their songs.
Oh, jeez.
And part of it was Tom Verlaine was a control freak and didn't want any of his songs in the set list, but they didn't have enough songs once he left. So
yeah. I don't know much about it, but did Verlaine have much of a solo? Did he have a solo career after television?
he did. The highlight of his solo career was, you know that song Kingdom Comes on Scary Monsters by David Bowie?
Yeah.
That is a Tom Verlaine solo cover.
Oh, okay.
And they even had Tom Verlaine play some on the studio version, but he proved too hard to get along with for Bowie to include his track.
Oh my God. That's saying a lot for Bowie.
And Bowie could get along with anyone for at least one song. It seemed like he worked with like a large variety of people because he was at least very good at the initial relationships with other musicians. So yeah, Tom Verlaine was legendarily prickly. Which might be why they only had 3 albums and one didn't come out till 15 years later.
Yeah, way later.
Let's get him together with David Byrne.
Oh, he's dead now. He died recently. He died while the Alliterates were together because I, for a while, tried to get us to cover the second track on this album, Venus. So he died pretty recently, but yeah. Anywho, talked about the lineup a little, so...
Yeah. So, Steve, what do you think of the album cover?
So the cover is a band portrait, it looks like. I'm assuming.
You're correct.
That makes the most sense. And they are staring at me with intense eyes that feel like they are looking right into my soul.
Kind of like the back cover, because the back cover looks like the white light.
Yeah, on the back it's swirly. It is a swirly looking picture. Then the gatefold, there's a picture of the band playing. Looks like the guitarist has a jazz master.
He does.
And the other guitarist has a Telecaster. And I think the bass player has a Telecaster bass, just based on the headstock. I could be wrong on that, though.
They were famous for playing Fenders.
Yeah.
This was in the time when like a lot of arena rock was embracing the Gibson, so they were kind of doing that as a statement.
Me and Sean were talking about before we started recording about how Fender used to be the budget company, and now
yeah, because they were the more budget friendly compared to Gibsons, because Gibsons were always like, oh, the American handmade, were like Gibsons were like I always thought, someone said this, I don't remember who it was, Gibsons were like, even though this isn't an American company, like the Rolls Royce of guitars, like the high end, but they're like old school, like, European looking.
Yeah.
They, even though they're made here, they have that old like Spanish style. Even like the ES is called electric Spanish.
I'm pretty sure Les Paul said that.
Yeah, and then where the Fender is like the Cadillac of guitars, where it's like truly American. Leo Fender even used paint colors from cars for guitar colors.
Didn't Leo Fender famously hate rock and roll and wanted his guitars to be used for country?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
And he also couldn't play, which I always thought was weird. Like,
could not play a note. Yeah.
Wouldn't you figure out the basics?
Well, he had other people to do that for him.
Well, he did. It just feels weird to me that he designed and built instruments and never played them.
He also didn't do it by himself. He did have help. He just, like, he had people, like, his biggest thing was also amps too. Like,
Leo Fender is the Steve Jobs of the guitar world.
No, it was like him.
I think he's more useful than Steve Jobs, but
yeah, like it was because he was an engineer.
Yeah.
So he did do stuff like he designed amps, like amplifiers and stuff, and then he also, he knew circuitry and stuff. So that's how he was able to do a lot of this.
And it makes sense to me when you consider that it started with amps and then later guitars.
Yeah.
But I just think it's weird that he never went, I'm gonna learn a couple chords on this thing.
Yeah.
Well, being an engineer who understands like the circuitry and all that means he knew more about his product even without being able to play it than, I don't know, almost all CEOs.
Yeah.
Well, he got it right the first time with the Telecaster.
Oh, yeah.
The design hasn't changed that much.
No.
And then, the reason the Stratocaster came out and is because people were telling him like, oh, it'd be better if we had some contours for like, cause how the Telecaster's a straight block of wood.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, if you cut in a contour here, it'll be nicer to play. That's kind of how. So people told him that, and then he originally didn't want to put like if you look at like some of the original Esquires, because it was originally Esquires because it was really just one pickup. Yeah. Those didn't have truss rods in the neck, and so when people would go from like different climates, the necks would warp.
Right.
And so people were telling him, Leo, you got to put in these truss rods. And he's like, no, it's fine. You know, you can't. And so I guess there's like a picture of him like standing on a neck in between two boards. Like it won't break, you know, but he's like, it doesn't matter if it won't. People are like, it doesn't matter if it won't break. They're warping.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to put in a fucking truss rod. So like some of the original, like earlier versions of the Telecaster, which were the Esquires, were had no truss rod in the neck.
My Soviet Tonika guitar doesn't have a truss rod, and they compensated by that by basically slicing a baseball bat in half, like it's that thick.
Yeah, and that's kind of what. Yeah, it's fucking thick as shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yeah, the lineup for television were Tom Verlaine on guitar, keyboards, and lead vocals, Fred Smith on bass, Richard Lloyd on guitar and backing vocals, and Billy Ficca on drums. I saw Richard Lloyd do a solo set at the waiting room once. He came on really late and was angry and belligerent, but he played well.
Which one is he on the cover?
Let's see. He was the lead guitar player. So he's the one that looks really young because he was really young. He's that one on the inside cover, the one with the telly. So
the guy.
So that guy right there.
That guy. Okay.
And he had Billy Ficca with him on drums when I saw him, and someone entirely else on bass. But yeah.
Did they play any television?
Yeah, they did. They did Friction and See No Evil.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I think I want to see your reaction to this album, Steve, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I do like it that the credits up there say which one played the solos on which songs. Guiding light. Because this is basically a band with two lead guitarists.
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, that's the thing too about like the mix. The reason people were saying that were complaining about this mix is because like in the original mix of so was like Tom Verlaine's guitars were so like loud in the original mix that like it covered up some of Richard Lloyd's guitars.
And I think Richard Lloyd is a slightly better player. So yeah.
And so like he cut down some of the highs because like some of the higher frequencies in this mix because Verlaine's tone was so shrill, and it actually was able to make it so you can hear some of Richard Lloyd's guitar playing that really was like kind of buried in the original mix. So yeah, nice.
So yeah, if you hear, but basically if you have the ear for this kind of thing, if you hear a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster, sorry, because I don't think he used a Jaguar. Maybe
it looks like a Jazzmaster.
It is a Jazzmaster. I'm just used to calling that shape the Jaguar. But yeah, it's a Jazz. If you hear a Jazzmaster, it's Tom. If you hear a Telecaster or a Stratocaster, it's Richard.
I do think I can't really tell based on the picture, but the pickups look weird in it.
Here, let me see.
It might just be how they made old Jazzmasters, or I don't know.
Well, I wonder if it's an aftermarket pickup. I gotta look this up.
Could be.
His hand is covering it, so I can't really see.
It's the top pickup that. Oh shit! He has one with a Charlie Christian pickup in it.
Oh,
not the same one, I don't think. But
Charlie Christian. I think in 1992 he would sometimes use a Strat. But the classic era, Jazzmaster.
Yeah, it's definitely modified with some kind of different pickups.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But yeah.
Kind of reminds me of when Robert Smith from The Cure got his Jazzmaster. He pissed his producer off by putting the cheap pickup from his Japanese import guitar into it.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like part of his signature sound for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes like
His producer bought him a guitar and he just modifies it.
sometimes that's the sound you want, man.
Yeah. And then on this first side, we have four. Oh, go ahead.
First side has See No Evil, Venus, Friction, and the title track Marquee Moon.
And all songs were written by Tom except Guiding Light.
Well, that's on the next.
Oh, okay.
That's the next side.
Yeah.
But wait until you hear that song. It's a pretty song. A pretty song on a pretty punk album.
Yeah. I think I like the first side a little more than the second, but they're both two excellent sides of music, and we'll get into that as we listen to it.
All right. I think that's all we got to say. All right.
Alrighty.
Let's do this.
From the town of Springfield, he's about to hit a chestnut tree.
And we are back from side one
Of Marquee Moon.
by Television.
What did you think, Steven?
I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal side of music.
It has a lot of elements from like those old school like rock, hard rock, early heavy metal bands. Like the guitar lead playing reminded me of like Judas Priest and Molly Hatchet in some moments. There are other moments that reminded me more of like psychedelic, like Jimi Hendrix or Robin Trower. It's the guitar playing for this style of music I think is really unique.
Yeah.
The vocals I would firmly call like punk vocals.
Funny that you mentioned Jimi Hendrix. Richard Lloyd knew and learned guitar some from Jimi Hendrix personally.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Like, a lot of the note choices reminded me of like Jimi Hendrix and psychedelic guitar playing. It's really unique. I can't really put a pin on what single genre they could be because they couldn't be. It's a big mix of different things from the era they come from, I feel like.
A lot of people say that it's post-punk when punk was still the only way for a band like this to be. So yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when I first heard it, I was like, this is supposed to be punk? I couldn't tell you that it was, Yeah. Just because it sounds so different.
I think you could have put them on a bill with Judas Priest or Black Sabbath and the crowds probably would have liked it.
Probably,
yeah.
Or you could have put it on with... They could have melded with anybody, really.
Yeah.
And
like, in a lot of ways, it sounded of its time, but it also sounded ahead of its time. It's just hard to describe. I don't think I've heard another artist like that, really.
Yeah, it sounds kind of timeless in a way, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they sound like they could be like a band that came out yesterday, almost. Well, they wouldn't make it big, but they could have came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny thing, this is one of the mini bands that poached a member from Blondie because they thought Blondie wasn't going to succeed or go anywhere. So Fred Smith, once, Richard Hell got fired / quit, they're just like, they grabbed the bass player from Blondie, Fred Smith, and was like, this Blondie band isn't going anywhere. Television, this is the band that's going to break huge out of this scene. And then around the time Television like broke up after Adventure for a while, they were in a record store and overheard like the cars coming through on the radio, and they're like, "Fuck, they're doing what we're doing, only in a radio approachable way. It's done."
Yeah.
That's funny. Cause I could imagine the cars, them. Even though this came out
The same year as the first Cars record.
Yeah.
But yeah. That was in Boston. This was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they weren't more popular.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the guy was hard to work with, and they.
It's probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were on Elektra, so I mean, Elektra is not like a small label, so I'm surprised they probably just didn't get promoted like they should have been.
Or they were
hard to work
yeah.
with. Damn prima donnas.
Yep. I think Verlaine, like he was a poet. He like was a good lyricist, and he had a vision, and he had a lot of people blowing smoke up his ass, and so that probably made him harder to work with.
Oh yeah.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to work when your head's stuck up your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Phenomenal side of music, great guitar playing, and for something that's really driven by the vision of one member, all four members are contributing a lot and doing like really cool, unique stuff.
Yeah. It wouldn't have worked if it was just the guitar
And like 3 session musicians.
Yeah.
There was a lot of interesting interplay between the two different guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so too. Like you can really hear like how they are playing separate parts that really connect together.
Right.
Yeah.
In every song. Like there's one that like in like Marquee, where I know we're not going song by song, but there's like how it's like in Marquee Moon, it's like one's going dun 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 dun, and the other one's like on
Right.
so it's like they each have their own like part, and then the bass player is doing his own like he's like doing like walking like his own little thing. He's not just following like either the dun 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 or
Right.
the dun.
Yeah. Everything plays off each other.
Yeah.
In a perfect way, really.
Yeah. And the drummer fucking in the pocket, he's really tight like as a drummer. So yeah, it all works together cohesively.
Yeah. Track by track, first up we have See No Evil. I heard the low end on this mix a lot more than I did on the earlier versions. I think that made it sound a little better to me. Like it sounded heavier with the low end the way it was.
I mean, I know I gave you because I bought 2 copies of this because I bought the one that's widely available, and then I bought the Rhino Hi-Fi because I really like the series, the Rhino High Fidelity series. So there wasn't like a huge difference between the 2 copies, but I did notice there's a little bit more low end.
Yeah, I noticed some of like the double drum hits on this song in particular more than I did on the other version.
Yeah, I can hear the highs are a little bit down a little bit more. It's not as shrill, but that also opens it up so you can hear like the guitars playing off each other. In my opinion,
yeah, I like this one a little more. Like this one is kind of my least favorite on this side by default. But I liked this version better than the previous version, which is funny because this is oftentimes the one people put on mixes and stuff, or like compilations. But it's like, to me, it's just like, yeah, but the next 3 songs
are great. I mean, they're all great.
They are, yeah.
But like on an 8-song album, it's like one song has to be the least great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, the guitar playing on this one, they were utilizing guitar harmonies. Like I previously mentioned Judas Priest, Molly Hatchet. Like, I don't think the music sounds like those bands. It's just the techniques they were using reminded me of the techniques those bands used. The vibe I kind of got was, I don't know, like similar to Elton John's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting a little bit.
Yeah.
And the guitar solo was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good solo. It was a very good solo.
As far as my place on the album, I think I'd have to agree. Probably my least favorite that I still really fucking liked.
Yeah.
To me, I'll just say it now. To me, this side is like least to best.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I don't know if it's that for you, but to me, it's like least best to best song. It just gets better each song. Because then Venus, if we're going to the next song, unless you guys have anything more.
One more thing one thing that you notice in this that you notice in all of them is I like the wordplay, like I get the point, you're so sharp. Yeah. There's a lot of wordplay in this if you really stop and listen. Like Richard Hell was more of a poet than Tom Verlaine, but that was, like being clever and doing little puns and wordplay was still a part of the band after he left, and Verlaine was good at that too. So
that is a good little pun.
Yeah. On to Venus. Venus is actually my favorite on the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for me, it's not quite the same flow, but yeah.
To me, it is. But I will say Venus is a great song too. Like, it's a love song. It's a rockin' love song, and it's just and it sounds so angry.
Yeah, but it's like a futile love song too, because I fell into the arms of Venus de Milo.
Yeah.
She doesn't have arms and also she's a statue. Yeah.
I thought the guitar lead playing on this one was really interesting. There were moments where it almost sounded like a bell.
Yeah.
And then later on, the guitar solo, there were moments that I thought it was a synth at first, and then I noticed, oh no, that's actually a guitar. So I think that might have been the Jazzmaster Trem.
Yeah.
Is what I was hearing there.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And then also like an intro, like they don't use a lot of effects. They're just getting that tone out of it a lot of the time.
How many effects would you have had access to back then?
A lot. Yeah.
It was late 70s, so they had more than, like, but to me, it sounds like their tone is from Breakup and the amplifier instead of like a pedal.
Yeah.
Like they're not using a fuzz pedal. They're using they're just cranking their amplifier's volume up really loud. I wonder if we can see what amps they were using, because to me it sounds kind of...
It doesn't sound like Marshall stacks. It sounds like little combo
it's Fenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fender combos. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it was all... I think they were using, like amps like that also for the same reason why they were using Fenders. They're going like more for the garage sound, less of the arena sound.
So they might have been using like some reverb on the Fenders and just cranking them. That's what it sounds like to me, anyways.
Yeah.
I think Fenders are particularly known for their reverb back then. Right?
Yeah. There was like a little like ding 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 in there too.
Yeah. I also like that. Like there's that psychedelic, like I don't know, like guitar sound on the solo. It sounded almost like it was some like tape effects on that too. But that was one of the few like really strong effects things I heard like on the whole album. I also like kind of like the back and forth with the playful back and forth on the chorus between the band. And I fell. Did you feel low?
Yeah.
No. Huh? Yeah. Also, this song is a little bit famous for being the only song to directly mention Richard Hell. Like this song was from his time in the band, but it does directly mention a former band member in it. The Richard said we should dress up like cops, think about what we could do, something. Said, you better not. But like that was written when Richard was in the band, and he did think it would be funny to play on stage dressed up as cops, and Tom was like, no. Yeah.
Probably a good decision.
Yeah, that's all I have on Venus.
The next one is Friction. I thought the guitar intro on it sounded really cool, and I thought that his choice of notes was interesting. And once it got into like the song proper, it had like this really cool like swagger to it, I thought.
Like the punkiest song, but also
Yeah.
the bluesiest song on the side.
And great steady bass playing.
Yeah, really dexterous like runs of bass on this too.
Oh yeah.
This song inspired my old stage name, Dave Diction, because there's the you complain of my diction. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I like any song where they spell out the title. Friction.
Friction.
What about if they spell out the band name like Motorhead did on their song Ramones?
Yeah.
That the Ramones eventually covered.
Yeah.
And also the Pixies did that too.
Oh, did they?
And actually one of the in the album we listened to, Surfer
Oh, that's
Rosa.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
P-I-X-I.
And then David Bowie covered that song and spelled out David in that part.
His version was pretty weird. It's pretty good.
I really like Bowie's version of that
Yeah.
song. That's off of one of my favorite of
Heathen, right?
Yeah, Heathen, one of my favorite
Yeah.
of his Ots albums. Yeah. But yeah, Friction was also like their shot of energy on where the side was, and like at their live show too. This was the one that they would really lean heavily on in a prominent place in the set when they played with the Ramones type of stuff to keep a level of energy going.
Yeah. Then Marquee Moon, my favorite one on this side.
The title track.
That's
This is a
perfect.
very good song.
If I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to probably pick this one. It had a really epic nature to it. I thought was just
The guitar had that like bell-like tone on it a lot. This version, for whatever reason, the lead seemed a little quieter than I remembered it. The that might be the mix, but like not a lot quieter, just a little quieter.
You know what though? It might be also where we're placed too.
Oh, yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Because when I
Yeah.
at my house, I can hear it really well. Here, I couldn't hear it that well.
Well, which part could you hear better? Because like the leady guitar part, I felt like was in the background, but the na part I could hear very
The
properly.
leady part was kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my experience sitting here too.
Yeah.
See, when I hear it, when I listen to it at my house, it's a little bit, it's different.
I liked like the climax of the long solo section too, with where just the da 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 da, but then like it gets like really loud and kind of simple and abridged, and then it goes into like the wind chimey guitar and keyboard part at the end
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
This one also kind of reminded me of like Jimi Hendrix and Robin Trower, and it had like a really funky bass. I like the little pretty instrumental section where I thought it sounded like a flute. I don't think it was a flute, but it almost sounded like a flute.
Yeah. That might have been the keyboards. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some keyboards in the background a bit.
Maybe
too.
that's what I was hearing, yeah.
And then it has that little like stop, and you can still kind of hear the cymbal. And then all of a sudden it goes back into it, like, and he starts singing into it, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I always think of this song during thunderstorms. Part of it is the lyrics, but also it's how the song sounds. I recall lightning strike itself. I was listening to the rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, after the third chorus, there's a longer solo, and it's based on a jazz mixolydian scale, and that lasts for the entire second half of the song. This has been Wikipedia with Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you for your attention. Now back to our regularly scheduled podcast.
And here's a word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
BetterHelp.
There's a demo that was never released that I do like listening to sometimes too, where it was when Richard Hell was still in the band. And this song, I think it's like Marquee Moon, Venus, and Friction are what's on it. And it's Richard Hell is still in the band, and it's produced by Brian Eno.
Oh, that'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah, it sounds really good. It's a little rougher, and the bass isn't quite as dexterous, and also Richard Hell was on the verge of quitting. But yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's like, "Fuck you, Tom Verlaine."
You can't cut Blank Generation from the set without cutting me from the band.
I'm the Blank Generation. I'm the generation now.
I do have that on vinyl, and we'll do that at some point. That is also a good album, but yeah,
It is. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I know that song. I don't know the rest of the album.
yeah. But yeah, this was like, yeah, huge epic song. There's like a million different like little hooks within it that you can latch onto. Like you can focus on different parts, so it's like great for re-listens.
Yeah.
Like it does a really good job of keeping my attention, which you really have to do with a 9-minute song.
Yeah,
Or
damn near
almost 10 minute. Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say 2 seconds away from 10 minutes.
If they had just faded out a little later, it would have been
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic side of music. One of the best guitar records.
I put that side in the S tier.
Yeah, I would too. The second side is consistently good, but doesn't hit quite the same highs as the first one. But I think it's good. Like it's still a good side of music. It's just not quite as legendary as the first. My favorite on it is probably Guiding Light, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
God hit by the lights.
Yeah,
Rev up like a douche.
Why are you touching my douche, man?
why are you revving my douche, bro?
Quit revving my douche, man.
It's funny Bruce Springsteen had to go on a radio campaign to get people to realize that the line wasn't douche.
Oh, Bruce Springsteen had to do that?
It was a cover of one of his songs.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think like his version was popular. I think whoever covered it made it popular.
Oh. Well, isn't it REO Speedwagon or something?
No, it started with an M. I
don't know.
I didn't care enough to memorize.
Neither do I.
Yeah. I just care about revving douches.
Yeah.
Because you don't rev douches. What does that even mean? Is it a motor-powered douche?
The line is deuce. Like, so
Yeah.
are you revving up your shit?
Or a number, or
it's,
like the number 2 car in your deck?
Yeah. Upper decker.
Yeah, it's about an upper decker.
Yeah. Revved up like a douche.
How was that upper decker I left at your house, by the way?
Oh, good.
Glad to help.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Dee Dee didn't like that she
Yeah.
had to clean it, but you know.
Did you like that Steve put a layer of saran wrap over the upper decker so that it was harder to get to, and then put another upper decker on top of that? So it was like
really-
a lasagna.
It really sealed in the freshness.
Upper decker lasagna.
That was the upper decker double decker.
Yeah.
All right, side 2. We
Yeah.
got Elevation, Guiding Light, Prove It, and Torn Curtain.
You have heard the riff from Prove It in a different season.
Where'd I hear that?
It was in the song Adult Books by X.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't on that episode.
Now Pete was, but yeah,
Did he like it? Probably not.
he did.
Oh.
X is one of Pete's favorite bands.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's you never know with Pete, like what
Yeah.
he's gonna like and what he's not gonna like.
Yeah, sometimes I listen to something, I'm like, oh, I think Pete would like that, but probably not.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Pete, and he'd probably hate that.
Yeah.
He'd probably hate this. Be like, it's not punk.
He surprises me sometimes because
I don't
He
know.
likes Loverboy.
Yeah. So does Doug Decker too.
sometimes I'll complain about something, and he's just like, I like that band.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
You're like, I know. You're just like, okay.
Well,
Now you're fucking with me.
well, he wants to do a Poison album with us, which I think will be fun, but I couldn't.
Every rose has... Okay, sorry.
In some ways, I can picture him listening to hair metal. In some ways, I can't. It's interesting, but anyway.
Well, I mean, he's not that much older than me, and him.
he
doing-
would have grew up with it, you know.
So, I mean, I grew up with it, and I still ended up hating it. Like, my sister listened to hair metal, and it just annoyed the piss out of me. But it was funny because he listened to hair metal, but he hated the Def Leppard album.
The Def Leppard album was bad.
Yeah.
Well, the entire reason we even did that episode is because we mentioned. I don't know if I posted an article from Def Leppard or something, but Pete's like, "Don't mention Def Leppard in my presence" or something. And I'm like, "Oh, really? Well, we're gonna do a whole episode about him now."
Ain't a geetin' goblin golden.
So he likes Poison, but he doesn't like Def Leppard. It's like
They're indistinguishable to me. They're like the same band.
To me, they are too. So it doesn't make sense to me.
When we do that, I'm curious because I think the three of us are gonna hate that, and he's gonna like it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll be there. Ah, I'll be there.
All right, television.
Let's flip it. Cat holding back the cat.
And we're back
Vagina.
from side 2.
What's up, bitches?
Yeah, Steve, what did you think of this side?
Also, an incredible side of music.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I could compare the two sides. I think it was pretty consistent in quality on both sides, and I think Torn Curtain might be my favorite on the whole album. So there's that.
It was kind of doomy and gloomy.
I was gonna say, I could see a Doom band covering it. So
I like that song a lot too, Steve.
Yeah, I like this side too. I like the first one a little more, but it's still it's a great album. Probably a perfect album.
I think I felt like this side had a bit more variation. Like it started out really sad, and then it got really hopeful.
Yeah.
Until Torn Curtain.
Yeah.
And it had the only kind of, I don't want to say frivolous, but kind of, lighthearted song at least on it too.
Yeah. I think this side does have more variation than the first side. I think both sides are kind of perfect. So I really can't say which side I think is better.
I'm not sure if I would put one over the other. So
yeah. But Dave, you have listened to this album 10 times more than I have.
Yeah.
So.
I like the first side a little more. I think the first side's a little more this one has more variation, but the first side's a little more consistent, a little more cohesive.
Yeah. But I still think the first side has my favorite song, which is Marquee Moon. So,
Dave, we're not allowed to have factionalism.
Yeah,
we all have to come to a consensus.
I think my favorite song is still Venus. Unconventional choice, I know, but I
prove it.
Yeah, we'll get to prove it. But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to say that because you said it's my favorite song, and I'm prove it.
Yeah. Yeah, we kick things off. Case is closed. We kick things off with Elevation.
I really liked the build-up in it. The intro I thought was really great, and I think what particularly stood out was the hi-hat playing. And then when it got into the song itself, it was really sad, and I like sad songs, so
yeah,
this one particularly stood out to me.
I liked how the bass was kind of the lead instrument until the song proper started with the guitar taking over lead.
Yeah, I said I like the somber nature of this song.
Yeah, very somber, very sad.
Had some wistfulness to it though, it was melancholy for having lost something.
And then, but the chorus kind of kicks ass. So
yeah, it was a good build and release of tension with the core, with the big. I wouldn't say anthemic, but the big, powerful chorus.
Yeah. And it was a good side opener.
Yeah, I think it was Tom's best vocal performance on the record.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Next, we get to my favorite on the side. One of my favorites on the record, Guiding Light. Almost had a lullaby vibe at the intro, but the bass had a lot of muscle, a really thick bass sound, while everything else sounds kind of gentle.
Kind of had the same warm, fuzzy, nostalgic vibe that I got from the Peter Capaldi album from the song Midnight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is also my favorite on the side as well.
The piano really stood out in this particular mix. I didn't notice it as much in the previous versions I'd heard.
Since I'm the metal guy, the song made me melt, and it was too pretty. So,
Structure-wise, it had some interesting stuff going. Like, I liked how it just like built through the pre-chorus and then skipped right back to the verse, like after the first verse and pre-chorus, and then when they finally hit the chorus after the second pre-chorus, it just hit that much harder, and then that guitar, kind of melancholy guitar solo, really kicked ass.
Yeah.
And then I liked it when they went after the third verse, they went back, like after the pre-chorus, they briefly went back to the the verse section before then going back into the powerful, like solo chorus thing again.
Yeah.
That was like structurally this one was a little unconventional, and that's one of the things that really keeps me coming back to it.
Yeah, and actually it has like, to me it has like the most 90s sounding like opening riff, like that one. But that's not why I like it so much, but it does sound very like pre-90s. Like, I bet a lot of 90s guys heard this and was like, I like that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really stood out on the album, just with its really optimistic sound, especially compared to the song preceding it.
Yeah.
Next up, Prove It!
Confidential.
Good song, case closed.
Yeah, case closed.
No, not really.
I thought it was a good song. The riff from this, X accidentally ripped off for Adult Books, and then when they realized it, credited Television for it. Adult Books is a great song by X. I think I like Adult Books even a little more than this one, but it's still a great song. This one, it's a detective story. It's about Sherlock Holmes. It's, it doesn't have the depth of a lot of the other songs, but it's also, as a result, makes it kind of a nice breath of fresh air, a nice change of pace compared to a lot of the rest of the record lyrically. So I thought it worked as it was, where it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of a nice brevity after like the kind of the seriousness of the rest of the album, and it kind of leads the way into the next song.
I was gonna say the Prove It almost reminded me of reggae. I didn't think it quite made it to the point where I'd call it a reggae song, but I could picture a reggae group covering it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have to shift a lot to get it to reggae.
Yeah.
Bass had some great runs on it. I also think it's funny, like a little kind of lighthearted detective thing for the penultimate song of the album is also, I wonder if they got this idea from the Velvet Underground's third album with Murder Mystery right before the close of the album.
Yeah. I think it's a good lighthearted song. It's probably, to me, it's the
least essential.
Yeah, it's probably the weakest song on the album, but however, it's still, I wouldn't leave it off because it's still great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think every song on this album needs to be there.
Yeah,
that's a perfect album.
It's a perfect album, so it's the least great of a whole great album. So it's like someone said Beethoven wrote 9 symphonies and one had to be the least best symphony. So that's what I'm kind of going off of. This has 8 great songs and one had to be the least great song.
Yeah.
And that's Prove It.
Yeah.
Torn curtain.
Great closer. Epic closer.
Epic.
Yeah, great closer.
So
Great song. My favorite, like I said before, my favorite on the album. I really liked how the drum intro really set the scene for the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And then like this mysterious sounding guitar playing just like kicked in and went throughout the whole rest of the song. And, it's slow and doomy, which is my favorite kind of music.
This song always sounded kind of almost like not a goth song, but like gothic.
Yeah.
And it's like lyrical content and stuff,
Was this the one I said reminded me of The Cure? There were a few moments that reminded me of The Cure on this album.
I think Guiding Light reminded you, or maybe Elevation. Yeah.
I think it was one of those that you said, because it was earlier on the side. I don't remember if it was Torn Curtain.
Well, this one probably is pretty Cure-like too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell The Cure might have liked Television a bit.
Probably did, yeah.
And if you like this album, their next album is almost as good as this one. I think, in my opinion.
Almost it doesn't have as many like epic moments, but it's like a solid record.
yeah, like it's just, to me it was just one notch below. So it's still very solid, but just one notch. But Torn Curtain, yeah, like epic guitar work, epic drum work, and I love the calm, the tears, at the end when they're like, it just sounds very tragic at the end,
Yeah.
and they're like on the like fading out part. I get why this is your favorite song.
Yeah.
'Cause it does sound like a Steve song.
It both sounded a little less and a little more focused than Marquee Moon in terms of like the solos to some degree, and that it felt like it was going for a single vibe while Marquee Moon was going for several different vibes, but that they had a little bit more control over where they were going with Marquee Moon. If that makes sense.
Marquee Moon almost had like suites.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Marquee Moon by The Television. What would you rate it there, Dave?
I would rate it 18 out of 18 strings. 2 guitars and bass. All strings attached. Yeah. No, it's a great album. One of my favorite albums, 10 out of 10.
I would put it in the S tier.
Yeah.
I'd buy a dinner at Let It Fuck Me. So
Yeah.
so I give it. Yeah. I'd put it in the S tier as well. As soon as I heard it, it was like, oh, dude.
Jacob would give it a 2 out of 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's heard it before, but if he has,
I'm sure he has.
I need to let him borrow it so he can hear it.
Although I'm surprised at some of the things he hasn't heard sometimes.
Sometimes he talks about stuff and I'm like, I've never heard of that before. So
Yeah.
yeah. So he's both ways, like,
Yeah.
surprises me. And
Yeah, I think like any listener out there that tends to come to the podcast for like the like hard rock, proto metal, heavy metal stuff that I bring in, really give this album a listen, because it has guitar playing that would give like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden a run for their money.
yeah, and the guitar work is great. The vocals are well, they're not like doom metal vocals. He's a little bit more,
No, I would consistently call him punk.
Yeah.
more punk vocals, and then like, but yeah, it's a fantastic record. And like I said, the second album was great too. So Adventure, which is kind of funny. The only difference between the cover of this one and that one is it's still a band picture and it's red
Yeah.
and it says Adventure on it.
Did Mapplethorpe take the band cover for photo for Adventure as well?
I don't know. I've seen the picture of this without all the filtering on it before too.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird looking at it.
They broke theme with the 92 reunion. It's not a picture of the band.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They should have done that. What the fuck was wrong with them?
Just like all the releases from Lucid Fugue have to be a floating head.
They must be.
But I just thought it was funny when I saw the cover of Adventure, because I have that one too, and I was like,
Not very adventurous, were they?
no, it's just red in a picture of them, and then it says Adventure on the bottom.
Yeah, this was Television. This is like, if you really want to know the shape of a song and like all the pieces, this is a great album to listen to pick apart, because the parts are so distinct from each other. You can listen and re-listen and like pull on threads and follow it and figure out why things are the way they are. So yeah, this is a fantastic album to listen to if you are a musician and want to figure out just like the anatomy of a song, so you can get some ideas for how you can your ideas can be better to put together your own stuff.
I can tell you how
Yeah.
great this album is. This album is so great. We're sitting here and I want to flip it over and listen to it again.
Yeah, then
That's
there's
how
that.
fucking great it is.
Yeah.
But instead, you're going to have to listen to whatever drivel I bring in.
Wrecked.
Motherfucker.
Anywho, yeah, listen to Television, and if you only listen to one album, this is the one to listen to, but it's definitely worth listening to more of them. Catch you on the flip side.
Flip it, bitch.
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Head on over to killrockmusic.com, that's KILRAVOCK music.com, to check out our post-punk band, The Alliterates, and Steve's solo project, Kill Rock. You can also check out Steve and Dave's experimental project, Lucid Fugue, where the theme song comes from, at lucidfugue.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, at gongfarmer.bandcamp.com, spelled GONGFERMOUR. You can find each of us on various social media platforms. Check out the description for more information. Thanks.
Lick my love pump.
This music really makes me hate the centralized bank.
Sunday morning.
All hail to Sean.
All hell to Shaw.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Doctor Who. Hey, the TARDIS.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
What the fuck was that?
Bluesky is German, yeah? Not really.
Oh, no, they're from Minnesota.
1, 2, XU.
How does it feel?
Ziggy, help me!
This ain't your papa's Black Sabbath. We ain't dinosaurs now.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
You knew right away.
Got hit by the lights.
Yeah.
Rev up like a douche.